Hi, I'm Bryttani Ford.
And my name is Jermaine Worley, and we're spoken word artists.
And today we're going to perform a piece for you called Silence is Deadly.
I want to give a shout out to our videographer, Michaela Wright. Thank you. Hope you guys enjoy.
According to Google, when used as a verb, silence is defined as prohibiting or preventing from speaking. But when used as a noun, silence can be defined as the complete absence of sound.
You see, we are living in a generation of hush mode, because when we see something wrong and don't speak up, we are silently orchestrating a stick up. See, God told us that death and life lies in the power of the tongue. So when we refuse to speak out about injustice, then death will volunteer itself. Example, I'm pretty sure we all remember that time in middle school when we seen that kid getting bullied and chose not to speak. Or that time we walked past that homeless man who just wanted a few cents, but because we couldn't make sense of it, we labeled him as a druggie, just trying to get money, rather than thinking conversation is richer than money. Talk to me. Tell me that my life is important. Tell me that it matters.
Your silence is deadly. You resemble the smiles of the men watching the burning man, pleased with the sight of the oppressed. Silence and neutrality is not an option. You cannot choose to ignore the reality because it does not exist to you. Do not blind yourself trying to ignore the colored signs on the road.
Driving while black is not a myth.
It's a story often told. You wear our hair and faces as costumes, forming your lips to speak the native tongue of our ghettos. Do not appropriate our culture.
You want to be unified and scream all lives.
But if you really were an ally, then
hashtag Black Lives Matter wouldn't have been such an outcry.
Blue lives matter, all lives matter, but black lives don't seem to be making the cut.
See, nowadays we bring up God as a way to avoid talking about race. But I don't think our God is colorblind. I believe he created more than 31 flavors in his basket, but Satan through slavery tried to rob and degrade the beauty of chocolate, caramel, and rocky roads.
But how can we truly bear the image of God without going through rocky roads? Roads that have the shadows of strange fruit, hanging like Jesus on that lynching tree.
You see?
Silence is deadly.
My example earlier may not have been clear enough, so let's make this next one biblical. In Luke 22:54-62, we encounter a Peter who stood by and denied Jesus 3 times. When asked if he knew Jesus, he opened up his palms and put his hands up. So here's proof that when we don't speak up,
we silently orchestrate a stick up. Silence is cowardness. It is easy to hide behind a voting booth. But will you speak up when your Trump bans a group of people who do not look like you?
Supporting one idea of Christian faith.
But you didn't weigh his prejudice against those people who God made. In his image, we all bleed the same. Look at my skin. See my soul. I am human like you. I have a heart like you. A family like you. You can't use words that correspond to a family tree, but don't speak up for people who look like me. I have sins like you. There is only one lawgiver and judge, one who can save and who can destroy. But who are you to judge your neighbor? We have a Savior who we look upon as our sun through our midnights, guiding us through the valley of the shadow of death. I will fear no evil, for thou art with me, for thou art with us. Our prayer is that we take off our blinders and see that silence creates a division between us. If silence is the lock,
then speaking up for people who don't look like you is the key.
Then we will be able to say
that we fulfilled the dream of Dr. King by becoming the beloved community. Thanks for watching.
And see that silence creates a division. Thou art with